He is rather lovely, and has just called me from his gig tonight, and sympathized and been supportive of the large number of exam scripts that I now have. He's coming to dinner on Tuesday, and I am going to make a rhubarb crumble, because my rhubarb has gone mental again, but I'm not sure what to do for the first course. It needs to say this is a woman who can cook, and is therefore worth hanging on to. So, I would like your opinions please. Stuffed steak with homemade chips and vegetables, though he had a steak poiver when we went to dinner, or the time-consuming chicken and mushroom in a creamy sauce, which I sometimes serve with rice, and sometimes make into a large pasty-type thing, and have with fine beans, or shall I make something else? I am a good cook, and am prepared to be adventurous. Allergic to peppers of all types. Any suggestions?
Yup. Food. Sounds good. You'll get him with that strategy. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
That was my plan, DD. Salmon. Wrapped in parma ham on a bed of pesto mash. With steamed vegetables of whatever sort you fancy, has worked for me in the past. Or how about chicken and mushroom and white wine in a foil bag combination, literally chuck it all in the bag and chuck it in the oven. I'm sure that the food will only confirm what he knows already, Flutters.
Stuffed steak. Want be this then? Big success meals of mine, potatoes toffees with bowl of bourguignon followed by lemon cheesecake. Or salmon in béarnaise sauce, mange it out, asparagus and caramelized carrots plus sauté potatoes followed by rhubarb fool.
You mix up some herbs with some oil, and wedge it in the middle of a steak, in which you have previously cut a slice, then grill. It is lovely. I like the both bourguignon idea. I will look up some recipes, thanks people.
My biscuit lips water perilously at the sound of all the above.
Not watering too much, or you'll go soggy around the edges.
Water and dribble are always perilous to suggestives.
So a kiss is out of the question. I have now found some more recipes, bbc.co.uk/food/recipes/roast lamb with beetroot. What could I replace the red wine with? He is allergic to alcohol. I replaced red wine in a recipe with grape juice with a dash of balsamic vinegar once. It wasn't the same but was acceptable. Maybe I could replace the red wine sauce entirely? I don't know what would work though. What about a rosemary and cream sauce? Now that sounds interesting, can you elucidate further? I have been looking for an excuse to use the word elucidate for days now. Well, it's only a drizzly sort of sauce, from what the recipe says. So I'd infuse the rosemary in some double cream, add seasoning to taste, heat it up, then strain it before serving. Add a sprig of rosemary for decoration. Perhaps some chopped shallots would lift it. Actually, looking at that recipe, it doesn't look like long enough to cook a beetroot. Maybe this instead, bbc.co.uk/food/recipes/grilled lamb with couscous. You do realize that you are making me salivate all over my keyboard, don't you? I like the sound of that one. Pretty straightforward.
Allergic to alcohol? My God, have him scrubbed and sent to my tent.
Not a chance, taster, he's all mine. I dislike drinking. It is so nice to be with someone who also does not need to be spanned to have fun. I'm going for the couscous one. Buggers off for some banter and meat at the butcher's. When my other half cooks meat, he doesn't chop the garlic up small, but cuts it into chunks, scores the meat, and pops the garlic chunks inside.
A musician who doesn't drink. Marry him.
I now have everything I need to make an impressive meal, off to enjoy the sun. You deserve to enjoy it. Update for Taster & Co. So, we have a date for Tuesday. And then again for the following weekend. And had a nice chat today, where we discussed both of us being petrol heads, me less retro than he. And he said, well, I am sure things will go well between us, so perhaps in the summer we can go see some racing. He's thinking long term, but it's not scary, yikes. That's great news, Flutters. Sounds very promising. Now you do realize that we will be after an invite to the wedding.